I had told my parents that I'm gonna quit. There's no possible way. 18 months ago, my life was all different. I'm Hannon, also known as Envoy, and I play for the Chicago Huntsmen. I grew up in Aurora, Illinois, about 40 minutes outside of Chicago. I started playing COD when I was about like 7 or 8. I was getting online, talking with all my dad's friends that were well above my age. I was smacking them around, you know, that's where my gaming started.
He had his breakout year last year, but he could be the best player on the team.
Envoy's timing is exquisite.
That's 5 in a row, 6 in a row.
Keep pushing him, he'll keep shutting you down.
I started in Call of Duty Ghosts in 2014. That was my first ever competitive COD. I decided that, hey, I'm better than a lot of my school friends. I want to take this to the next level. So I decided to start entering wagers, GBs, online tournaments, and then it came to Advanced Warfare. And going to my first event, I got top 20, and then after that I got picked up by Justice.
Great stuff from Envoy. Ripping everyone up.
Big kills coming from Envoy.
They actually hit up Cells to play for them with a Kenny Spacely and Assault, and he said, no, you should take my teammate, Envoy. He's the player you need.
Envoy really starting to push up and get some control.
To think that I probably wouldn't have got the opportunity without that happening is actually mind-blowing to me, and I thank him every day for it. We went to MLG Finals, which was the last event of the year in New Orleans.
Nicely played there from Envoy.
2 more points on the board for Justice.
There was a lot of people that were underage, and this was the second biggest event of the year for 250 grand. And we ended up getting 5th, 6th at the event. We clutched 2 Game 5 round 11s to get top 8 and top 6, and then eventually fell short.
1 versus 2 now against Up to Gaming. It's not looking good, and OG secured the win.
Everyone was underage, so we were forced into temporary retirement going into Black Ops 3, which is devastating. I mean, when I say devastating, I mean devastating. I did not know what to do with myself, and knowing that I had to wait 3 years from the age of 15 till I was 18 to play again really hurt mentally. Throughout 2015 to 2018, I played a lot of online tournaments. I made some dumb decisions along the way. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, I wasn't using a controller during a lot of those times. I was using a mouse and keyboard. People always tell me, you're a scumbag, you're dumb for doing that, and people hate me because of it. But when I first started doing it, it was a joke, so I kept using it throughout the tournaments. You know, everyone's gonna tell me it's cheating, and it's cheating. I know, trust me, I know I cheated. If you ask me, I did it. It's not something I'm proud of, but you can't change the journey. In World War II, I came back in January, and I turned 18. No one wanted to team with me, and I ended up teaming with people I wasn't very satisfied with, and I tried to make the best of it. The best of it wasn't very good. After sitting away for 3 years, I'm not what I thought I was. I wanted this to be a proving point, and it was actually the exact opposite. It was probably a proving point for people that didn't like me. Much didn't go well for me anymore for the rest of World War II. Ultimately, I ended up stopped playing at the end of World War II and not attending Champs or the rest of the year because I was not good. You know, I had to change my mentality. If anyone knew me throughout AW, BO3, I had a very big ego. I mean, my ego was massive, and pro players hated me for it. They thought I was just an arrogant little kid. Some people will forever carry on the memory of that guy's a cheater, that guy's a keyboarder. You know, I look back and it's like, okay, I didn't do too well, but let's move forward. Black Ops 4 came around, and I started off that year winning a bunch of online tournaments.
Clutch.
That's where kind of I started making a little bit of noise for myself again.
I'm the best. I'm literally the best.
Gen.G was looking to pick up a player at the time, and their coach, Joey Nubsy, reached out and hit me up, and I joined Gen.G. That's where I guess the best of the journey started.
Envoy, a new addition to Gen.G, 55 points away from streaks.
Envoy, though, starting to make a play.
Plays on top, gets it done with a gun.
We went to Fort Worth for our first event with 5 days of practice. We got top 8. And we went to London next, top 6.
This is a team to just be fiercely looking out for.
Then the two biggest events, Anaheim, CWL Finals.
Fantastic read from Envoy.
We got second in both those tournaments.
100 Thieves, they're making their championship push right here. Nobody there for Gen.G.
It was my first second place. I cried after I got second place. Cried and cried and cried. I wouldn't say like a low moment, but I didn't know what was next. I didn't know how we were going to do, how we were going to recover from this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's time to kick things off. It is CWL Championship time for 2019. I'm feeling alive.
We're going to start with Gen.G and Fuego. That is not an easy matchup for Gen.G.
After having the year I had of coming up from amateur to second place twice in a row and beating people I've watched my whole career, we all wanted to do well at Champs and just prove that, you know, we could end the year off as a good Black Ops 4 team.
It's just the biggest problem for Gen.G is this team shouldn't struggle in pool play.
Gen.G have to clutch up. It comes out of Noggin and Harry. It's on Noggin. Harry stop! Fuego get the map 5 win and the upset over Gen.G.
I think our eyes were set a little past pool play, set more on the bracket and what was going to happen afterwards, and we ended up getting 0-3 swept in pools to the likes of 3 amateur teams.
Wow. What the hell just happened?
Gen.G lost them, the 31st seed.
We have what people will call the biggest upset in Call of Duty history, I think, of us getting top 32 at Champs, last place. The worst part was is the event wasn't even built yet. I was inside the venue, tearing up because we just had got last place at Champs, so mad at myself. I was just sitting there, scratching my head in the bleachers, watching them build the stadium that I'd never get to play at. Throughout Black Ops 4, people grew a lot of respect for me. In the past, I hadn't been a good person and I was, an average player.
But it's just Envoy doing it himself, able to pick up 2. Envoy still picking up kills.
Once they started seeing the stats, then they looked to see, you know, is this guy a good person or is he still the scumbag that he used to be? That's just the biggest obstacle, was just earning people's trust back and showing them that I'm a new person. I'm a much more mature person now. The process that I took to finally land here on the Huntsmen was kind of a very odd process, a very complicated one. You know, with the CDL just like happening this year and everyone being a free agent, it was everyone up for grabs, you know? So I was kind of like nervous. I was like, oh man, these organizations are looking for a core group of players. The vibes were high and we announced the team right here, literally right here, about 6 months ago, which is nuts. Ultimately, I'm happy where I ended up and I think this team is a great one. I think we have all the pieces to be a great team for a while. Teaming with Seth, it's honestly a great time. I think Seth and Matt combined, T2P, they gotta be the funniest teammates I've ever had. They're the biggest trolls in the community. They know how to have a good time. When everything outside the game is all fun and stuff, then it's fun to play.
Envoy, man, he's a monster. He is absolutely one of the best players in the world.
He is absolutely hungry for these kills.
I cannot believe how easy he has made this look.
I'm so glad we get to see this. Look at the Kobe onto the site. Bang!
18 months ago, my life was all different. I was working a part-time job. I had told my parents that I'm gonna quit and, you know, give me a couple months to see if I can make this dream into a reality.
Envoy's flanking left and right and just wreaking havoc on the map.
Now I'm representing the biggest brand in the COD League and the best fans in the world. I'm just looking to do the most out of it. I mean, I'm working on myself as a player, working on myself as a teammate. I'm trying to do all the right things. I want to be here to stay.